Well, all right, guys, what is going on out there today? It's Brent Abel here at webtennis.com. And I've got a pre recorded What's the Right Shot episode for you today because I've actually got a match scheduled for right now, 8 a.m. Pacific, over at the Wilson World Tennis Classic. Got some mixed doubles this morning, and so I can't do it live. So, anyway, I pre recorded this, and what I've got for you is um, a short episode today. And we're going to look at a singles point. Before we get into it, look, if you love this stuff, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all future uploads. Go live every morning, except for when we need to pre-record it. We also do something in the afternoon as well. And again, ironically, this is from the finals of the National Clay Courts back in 2023. Had to play indoors on this morning because it was a little bit too wet outside. Anyway, I'm gonna tee this up for you. I'm playing a little second serve approach return, and basically just trying to tell my opponent, look, you know what? I'm going to give you this 10% of the court I can't cover, and I'll give you maybe a little 10 or 15% of the court over here I can't cover. And if you can hit that all day long, guess what? We'll shake hands. Congratulations. I don't think you can do it. I think you'll do it once in a while, for sure. But that's not going to stop me from coming in and trying to force you to pass me. So what I did here on the image is we stopped it, I think right about here. And I'll stop it here. This ball is going to bounce up, right, and give me an opportunity to choose a couple different shots. I'm going to ask you, what shot would you play? Look, there's a lot of choices here, right? And you could certainly you could certainly play an approach, underspin approach here. I suppose you could let the ball get up really high if that was the case, and you could flatten it for some safety over the top of the net for an approach shot. You could certainly play a little drop shot right here. You could play a little dropper in here as well. And if you disguise this well enough so it looked like you were going to play a drop shot and then kind of bait him to move in, well, then this would definitely be open in here so as well. So here's what I decide to play. I feel that what's the longest distance I can make him run from this point, right? Got my opponent here. I've got the ball here. What's the longest geometric distance I can make him run? Well, you're right. I mean, it's just a spot right here. That's the longest distance on the court he's got to cover, right? So that's a lot of my thinking sometimes. The shot choice is based on where am I going to receive the ball and where is he going to be when I make contact? And, if he's closer in here, then I don't think that's a shot choice for me, right? If he plays it and he can move up into this area here, a couple of 2 or 3 feet inside the baseline, then maybe I've got to do something else, which would be in here. So one way to think about shot choice is simply that. If he gets to it, what's the longest distance that he's got to cover to get to be able to get there? Now let's talk a little bit about, I think, sort of a misunderstanding here on how you play a drop shot, and that is you got to bring in a ton of spin. You really got to get under this ball. You've really got to make it spin, right? And that's just not the case. I mean, this is so none. I can't even talk. This is such no spin at all. It's just a bunt. It's just absolutely getting the racket face prepared behind it, kind of flat, and then just kind of opening the face with just to deaden it. But does that give it really any kind of spin? Not really. Not really. So anyway, look, hope you enjoyed today's episode of What's the Right Shot. Look, I've created a playlist in the last week or so to show you a couple things, and I've got a couple videos up there right now. I think there's 3 of them. They're all under 60 seconds long, and I'm going to give you 3 steps or 3 cues, CUES, on something to think about on technique-wise. Simple little cues to think about. Maybe a takeaway. Go out there in the practice court and try to feel some of these steps or some of these cues that I'm talking about. But anyway, it's a good playlist. I hope that you enjoy it. I would encourage you to go over to see it. If you're over on Facebook, the URL should be down in the description area there, which will take you over to the web Tennis channel at YouTube, and you can find that playlist. It's easy to find. So there's that, and then I got another little playlist I want you to check out too. Basically, that just shows you here's one thing that we could copy from one of the pros. And I've got one thing here on a Yannick Sinner cross-court sharp angle forehand I want you to think about, which is basically let's get around the outside of the ball. That's another playlist I've got there for you. So guys, look, hope you love this today. Let me know down below any questions, any comments, any remarks. And if you love this stuff, as always, please give this a nice, give this a nice like and subscribe to the channel. And hit that notification bell. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Got to get it out there. Have a great day, guys. See you again next